Yo, good evening, USA. International Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with Annihilator, your host with the most, misunderstood lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, Queens, New York native who's also a New York Giants fan and New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And yes, you're now rocking with me by tuning in, listening, streaming, and watching the 419th episode of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast. And man, oh man, I got a jam-packed show for you today full of topics. One of the topics I have to do a little clarification in regards to the whole thing with Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie franchise. Um, I'll make that clarification up in movie Man Cave Popcorn segment, and a whole bunch of topics that is waiting to be discussed in this episode right here. And I hope y'all had a nice Labor Day weekend, and of course the Labor Day West Indian Day Carnival Parade, and I hope everybody was safe out there. I know there was like a little bit of people who got shot, but some of them are in stable conditions, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be fine. So yeah, there you go, right there. Um, also, we are live and direct from StreamYard alongside in the comedy space of my room where I do my podcast recordings off of um off of my laptop and stuff, and and of course and of course YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page for more live video episode live streams. Yes. And of course, leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics being discussed in each episode. All right. And don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, your feedback on what you think of the topics in each episode whatsoever. And don't forget to leave 5 stars whatsoever. And and yeah, there you go right there. Um Now I want to cut to the chase. And of course, I got a lineup of fun activities in the remains to be seen segment in a couple of minutes. Some dates and all that other stuff, especially from timeout.com. Stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, let's get started with some transit news talk right here. The New York Mass Transit Files. Let's go. Okay, before I get into the segment right here, I'd like to fill you guys in. If you are a gamer, if you are a live streamer and a podcaster like myself, and you're looking forward to getting in on all the action on leveling up, all you need to do is actually set up your email address or your podcast email address, so that way you can check out www.streamyard.com. That way you get a $15 discount. All right, let's cut to the chase with some transit news. All right. This is what this platform is for. I decided to actually cover this. So I figured no other podcaster is going to do it. So I figured I'll do this myself. So let's start with the deadly Chinatown crash. All right. Um All right, so here's what's happening. All right, city transportation officials are fast tracking street redesigns to a dangerous intersection in Manhattan's Chinatown where two people were killed by a speeding driver last month. Prosecutors charged Autumn Romero with vehicular homicide in the two deaths. Cops say she barreled off the Manhattan Bridge on July 19th and smashed into a bicyclist and pedestrian, killing them both. Romero was allegedly drunk and speeding at 109 miles per hour before she lost control of her Chevy Malibu, according to police officials. Okay, that was fucking stupid right there. That was fucking stupid. Like, come on. Are you fucking kidding me? You're a grown ass woman with a vehicle and you decide to do something very irresponsible. Like, come on. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right, let's continue. Um, this. Let's see. Let's continue. So the city transportation department will install new physical barriers in the coming weeks to protect pedestrians from runaway drivers at Bowie and Canal Street, officials said. The transportation department also announced it's starting a process to lower the speed limit for drivers coming off the bridge into Manhattan from 35 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour. The agency also plans to narrow some Manhattan bound lanes on the bridge to further discourage speeding. As we mourn the loss of the victims of this horrific crash, we are taking immediate steps to fortify this intersection while developing a long-term safety redesign for the entire Canal Street corridor, Transportation Commissioner Edonis Rodriguez said. Hmm. All right. So, hold on. On Thursday, police officers were parked near the spot where Romero crashed last month, pointing a radar gun at vehicles flowing off the Manhattan Bridge. 7 people have been killed in crashes on Canal Street between the West Side Highway and Manhattan Bridge exit since 2011, according to the city data. Ben Farnas, executive director of the street safety advocacy group Transportation Alternatives, welcomed the announcement, but said more should be done to prevent deadly crashes in the area. Canal Street is only as safe as its most dangerous block, and even after these changes, the vast majority of the corridor will remain deadly, Furness said in a statement. The transportation department was already planning to hold community feedback sessions about redesigns to Canal Street in the fall. Rodriguez said they are being moved up to later this month as a result of the crash. All right, and more transit news to talk about here. Let's get into more transit news to talk about. Let's get into this one right here. This one is interesting right here, according to AMNY. The NYC Council advanced a bill on Monday that would give big trucks a big break to park legally overnight in NYC. Intro double 099 made its way through the city council on June 30th. If signed by Mayor Eric Adams, the law would require the city Department of Transportation to make available overnight parking areas in the city's industrial business zones for commercial vehicles. The bill advanced following months of New Yorkers expressing concern over quality of life issues when trucks are parked improperly in their residential neighborhoods, officials said. Let's see. This isn't about pointing fingers. Hang on. It's about addressing a problem that's been left unmanaged for too long in communities like mine, Queens City Council member Natasha Williams, who sponsored the bill, said. Residents have raised concerns, and drivers are often left without workable options. We can't keep issuing tickets without offering solutions. This bill is about creating a smarter system, one that respects the needs of neighborhoods while recognizing the essential role of truckers in keeping the city running. Council Majority Whip Selvina Brooks Powers said the shortage of overnight parking areas result in illegal parking, disruptions in daily life, and raises safety concerns for both drivers and the surrounding communities. As chair of the Committee of Transportation and Infrastructure and a representative of Southeast Queens, with neighborhoods that were left out of the city's overnight parking pilot and are frequent. are frequently ignored. I am pleased the full council voted in support of this important legislation that contributes to increasing safety, equity, and accessibility of our community. She said the law would build on the DOT's on-street overnight truck parking pilot, which launched on March 20th and featured metered parking in three industrial areas: Flatlands, Brooklyn, Hunts Point, the Bronx, and Maspeth, Queens. The program created 45 new legal spaces in total. Per intro 0099's language, more parking areas would be made available for the trucks. The spaces would stay active for at least 10 continuous hours overnight and inactive between 8 a.m. and 6 a.m. Um, the bill and the pilot program aim to give truck drivers a break while complying with federally mandated rest periods and reducing illegal overnight parking in residential areas. End quote. Allowing truck operators to have safe and convenient places to take mandatory rest breaks supports the safety of the truck-based deliveries we all rely on, said Eric Beaton, Deputy Commissioner of Transportation Planning and Management. AM New York contacted Selvina Brooks Powers, chair of the NYC Council's Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, who was in a meeting at the time. Meanwhile, the Trucking Association of New York said passing the bill would help truckers and improve the delivery process within the city. Providing a safe place to park is not just a kind gesture. It has the power to improve efficiency, reduce costs for drivers, and preserve neighborhoods, said Zach Miller, Vice President of Government Affairs at the organization. It's a simple change that helps the entire city run better, and we commend our city leaders for working to make this a reality. Miller said that trucks transport nearly 90% of NYC's goods, and passing the bill would be a promising step forward for the Big Apple's freight network. Advocacy groups have said truck parking capacity is a nationwide issue, especially in populated urban areas like NYC, according to the American Trucking Associations and Owner Operator Independent Drivers Association. There is only one truck parking space for every 11 drivers in the United States. Adams has not yet signed the bill into law. If he does, it will become effective after 180 days and expire on July 1st, 2030. That's a long time. 2030 is a long time. Let's see. Let's see. All right. We have the 34th Street busway plan. Let's get into it. NYC officials revived a Midtown busway project as part of a larger rezoning proposal on Wednesday after City Hall allegedly suspended the plan last month. The city's Department of Transportation first proposed on May 20th to convert a stretch of 34th Street into a dedicated busway, which would increase bus speeds by as much as 15% for thousands of riders each day. A busway is different from a bus lane in that it limits private traffic, allowing for only buses, certain trucks, and emergency vehicles to use the corridor. Bus lanes simply run alongside regular traffic lanes. It is unclear why or if Mayor Eric Adams' administration halted the project, but speculation stirred after Street's blog ran an article on July 3rd about the idea getting the axe. But NYC council members were pleased when groups of City Hall officials once again greenlit the project as part of an agreement made on August 6th to rezone a chunk of Midtown. The NYC Council Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchises and the Committee on Land Use approved the Midtown South Mixed Use Plan. The proposed busway on 34th Street will support the nearly 10,000 new homes that sparked from the MSMX plan, which still needs full council approval. Yeah, so that's for those of you who may not know the acronym, it stands for Midtown South Mixed Use Plan. So there you go. Council member Eric Botcher, who represents the area, said the rezoning, including the busway, will tackle the housing crisis in one of the most transit-centered neighborhoods in the Big Apple. We're tackling New York's housing crisis head-on by unlocking over 9,500 new homes in one of the most transit-rich, high-opportunity areas of the city, helping to bring down rents not just in Midtown, but citywide, Botcher said. At the same time, we're protecting good-paying jobs, preserving the heart of our fashion industry, and reimagining Midtown South as a place where more families can live, thrive, and build lasting community. Although rumors circulated over the past month about the 34th Street busway getting kicked to the curb, Adams confirmed in a statement Wednesday that it will continue as planned. End quote. Not only will this plan deliver thousands of new homes for this central neighborhood, but it also represents a down payment on our vision of 100,000 new homes across all of Manhattan over the next decade, the mayor said. Furthermore, this agreement underscores our commitment to pairing housing with investments in our infrastructure, including the transformation and reconstruction of Broadway and 34th Street busway. Additionally, DOT officials told AM New York that the administration did not announce the busway's suspension. About the 34th Street busway, the proposal would deliver a busway from 3rd to 9th Avenues and prioritize buses and trucks while maintaining local access for pickups, drop-offs, and loading needs. About 24 bus routes use the corridor, including the M34 and N34A, and many express buses from the other boroughs, like the 2019 launch of the 14th Street busway, which the DOT cited as successful. Local access vehicles would be required to turn off the 34th Street busway at specific intersections to avoid a traffic violation. Meanwhile, public transit advocacy groups said the busway has a demand in the area. With a dedicated car-free 34th Street busway and fully pedestrianized Broadway, this plan prioritizes safe, sustainable, and accessible ways to get around, making Midtown a model for people-first design, said Ben Furness, executive director of Transportation Alternatives. Alongside these public realms improvements, the rezoning will deliver thousands of new homes in some of the most transit accessible spots in the world, helping address the city's urgent housing crisis. Danny Pearlstein, Policy and Communications Director of the Riders Alliance, said the revival of the busway is good news for Midtown commuters, but more needs to be done to support public transit citywide. Even a belated busway is good news for 34th Street riders, but New Yorkers from Brooklyn to the Bronx are still waiting on other bus improvements being blocked by City Hall, Pearlstein said. As a rule, faster buses for millions of people shouldn't ride on last-minute bargaining over zoning changes. Councilmember Keith Powers said the MSMX plan will transform in the area. We are transforming Midtown South into a vibrant live work neighborhood alongside historic community investments in schools, transit, parks, and more, he said. I look forward to the full council approving this rezoning and bringing housing to Midtown. Governor Kathy Hochul stressed the importance of building more housing. End quote. This is why, as part of my FY25 budget, I secured legislation to lift the state's decades old limit on housing floor in New York City and committed $1 billion for the city of Yes in order to maximize affordable housing construction citywide, she said. Yeah, hold on. Um, hold on. All right. People want to live in New York and we want people to be able to stay in New York. It is exciting to see what lifting the 12 far cap can accomplish. Congratulations to NYC Council and Mayor Adams. Excuse me. NYC Council and Mayor Adams for making this a reality. Okay, so all right, so what do you say we go on to the next topic? I want to actually make sure that. Mhm. Hold on 1 second here. Hold on, let me get everything together actually. All right. All right. All right, just a second. All right, let's see. All right, let's get into this topic right here that I've been hearing about in this next segment right here of chatting all the jazz right here. All right. Um, I will fill you in on what's been going on with the Fyre Festival being in limbo. All right. You're probably wondering what the hell in the flying fuck is going on with the Fyre Festival, right? That's just been going on in limbo. Um, and this is according to the folks from Vibe. Um, the notorious Fyre Festival is officially up for grabs on eBay. On Monday, July 7th, disgraced festival founder Billy McFarland took to social media with a surprising announcement. The rights to the Fyre Festival brand are being auctioned off to the highest bidder. In a video clip, McFarland said, "Today I am taking the most famous festival brand, Fyre Festival, and putting it up for auction on eBay starting at 1 cent, proudly hyping the brand's staying power despite its infamous implosion in 2017." According to McFarland, he's received upwards of 1,000 offers to buy the Fyre branding over the years. However, he claims a recent multi-million-dollar deal fell through, prompting him to take a route via more public route via eBay. Still bullish on the brand's potential, he insists the Fyre name remains a powerful marketing tool. Since its inception, Fyre has had over 32 billion impressions online, McFarland said. Whoever gets this will have an attention engine to launch festivals, do merch collabs, do pop ups, run live streams, or build a media brand. One media entrepreneur has already seized part of the Fyre opportunity. Sean Retch, co-owner of the True Blue streaming service and a documentary filmmaker, has locked in a deal with McFarland for multiple Firefest trademarks to build a music streaming service, a broadcast channel, and an app. However, Rhett clarified his company's stance on hosting a Fyre Festival reboot. Um, in quote, "We had and still apparently have the option to buy the rights to host a Fyre Festival, but that's not a priority right now. Billy tried to carve out a deal on the festival only, and I guess that fell through." The eBay auction of Firefest branding marks another surreal chapter in the saga of what was once pitched as a luxury music experience in the Bahamas, only to be exposed as one of the biggest events planning disasters in history. How stupid can you be, man? You have to be really stupid. If you're going to plan an event like this, why the hell did you get any confirmation from all these people that was supposed to be performing? Like, you're really in a shithole right now. If you think you're gonna be um if you think you're gonna be able to survive this, I don't know. That's just so fucking crazy, man. This is the craziest shit that I ever heard, man. And you wonder why somebody falls flat on their face. From FEMA tents and cheese sandwiches to lawsuits and jail time, the festival's fall from grace has been well documented. Now, with the brand's future in the hands of eBay bidders, it remains to be seen whether Fyre can truly rise from the ashes or if it's just another smokescreen. Well, Well, remains to be seen, man. You know what I mean? So, all right, so moving on to the next topic here. Um, moving on to the next topic here. I actually want to talk about okay, this is the funniest shit that I ever heard. So Popeyes. so Popeyes basically so they recently launched its new chicken wraps as a special menu item only to watch McDonald's resume selling its beloved snack wraps, and the Louisiana chain is calling it a foul move on Mickey D's part. To retaliate, Popeyes dropping a full on onslaught AI diss track complete with a digital hang on a second. With a digital music video that has Ronald McDonald resembling a wimpy clown struggling to get a groove with, with, with the Golden Arches recipes. oh man. Oh man. The chorus has a catchy bop, excuse me. Food be tasting funny when the clown be in the kitchen. Will there be a lawsuit if the diss track actually catches on? Both brands have established several celebrity spokespeople and dedicated customers, but only one can beat King Chicken. oh man, this is the craziest competition that I ever heard. Oh man. Um so yeah. Let's see. All right. All right. Um all right, National Oreo Day, huh? All right. Everybody knows the most favorite known snack are Oreo cookies, right? So this one is an interesting one right here. National Oreo Day. yeah, we celebrate America's number one cookie each year on its very special day on March 6th with National Oreo Day. And at National Today, we love a good cookie, and good cookies stem from the classics. In fact, one of our absolute favorites is a timeless classic, the Oreo with crisp chocolate cookies and creamy filling. These little cookies have captured our hearts and our stomachs. The Oreo was first introduced in 1912, and it has been the best-selling cookie in America ever since. We love to dunk them, twist them, and straight up take a bite. Here's to the delicious Oreo. Let's see. All right, the history behind National Oreo Day. The late Sam J. Porcello, a former Nabisco food scientist, is known for his work in terms of the modern Oreo cookie, which has been a creamy favorite snack for decades. This cookie creation is without a doubt one of his most notable achievements in his 34 years at Nabisco. And frankly, we believe that life has been sweeter ever since we at National Today just cannot get enough. The Oreo cookie is nearly 108 years old and is enjoyed by cookie lovers of all ages across the globe. Let's face it, classic never goes out of style. And at over 100 years old, Oreo cookies rather, are available in various colors, sizes, flavors. There are more inventing flavors coming every year. There are double stuffed, thins, mini, Neapolitan, and the aptly named Mega Stuff. We can even savor the flavor in an Oreo cake, dunk them in milk, have them after a meal or a snack, share them with friends, or covet them for yourself. However, we want them, we can have them, as there is no shortage of ways to enjoy the beloved Oreo. All right, so in 1912, Oreos hit the market. The Oreo cookie was first sold to a grocer in Hoboken, New Jersey. 1920, lemon meringue with the original cream flavor being far more popular. The lemon meringue flavor was discontinued by Nabisco. 1998, Oreo cookies were first introduced as kosher. This means even more cookie lovers, those with food restrictions, could enjoy this classic cookie snack. 2012, Oreo cookies turned 100. The limited edition and now permanent flavor birthday cake cookie was released to celebrate the centennial milestone. All right. Um, Okay, National Oreo Day activities. Have an Oreo tasting. Invite your friends over to eat Oreos. Track down as many varieties of these tasty cookies that you can, and have a tasting of Oreo flavors: cool mint, golden, birthday cake, original. Do minis taste different than regular? Ask the hard questions and enjoy. Throw an Oreo dessert party. Throw a desserts only dinner party where everyone has to bring a homemade dessert with Oreos, pie and Oreo crust, ice cream with Oreo mix-ins, cake with Oreos incorporated in the batter. Get creative and enjoy the versatility of this cookie. Keep it simple and eat some Oreos. Kick it old school on National Oreo Cookie Day and simply eat some of these classics, some of these classic cookies. Buy a pack on your way home from school or bring a package into the office for everyone to enjoy. Whether you keep them all to yourself or share the love, you'll feel great after eating this delicious cookie. 5 facts about Oreo cookies that will blow your mind. Number one, just call him Mr. Oreo. Cookie founder Sam J. Porcello was often referred to as Mr. Oreo after he introduced us to our favorite sugary sandwich treat. Number two, the original recipe called for pork fat. When invented, lard was a central ingredient to making the Oreo cookie. Number three, double stuffed cookies made their debut in 1975. The original recipe didn't change much over the years until the favorite double stuffed Oreo cookie was introduced. Number four, Oreo cookies are sold in over 100 countries. Cookie lovers around the world are able to enjoy this tasty treat. The top 5 countries in terms of sales for Oreo cookies are the United States, China, Venezuela, Canada, and Indonesia. Number five, Oreo cookies could circle Earth 381 times. From end to end, these classic cookies could circle the globe over 300 times if lined up along the equator. A tower of Oreos could reach the moon and back at least 5 times. Oh, wow. All right, so why we love National Oreo Day, you ask? There is only one Oreo. That's true. There are a lot of imitators, but there is only one Oreo. Every now and then, we will try out other brands to see if they'll taste as good, but we keep coming back to the original. They got things perfectly right, and we commend them for it. We love them every which way. There are there are a million ways to eat an Oreo, and all of, we love all of them. Twisting, dunking, chopping, sharing. Each way is amazing. How someone eats an Oreo is also such an insight into their personality. How do you eat how do you eat your Oreo? We love to try all the varieties. There are dozens of varieties of Oreos, some only available in certain counties. You mean countries. And we love the challenge of trying to taste all of them. Okay, so the National Oreo Day dates includes next year of 2026, Friday, March 6th, Saturday, Saturday, um, 2027, March 6th, 2028, Monday, March 6th, and of course, 2029, Tuesday, March 6th, and 2030, Wednesday, March 6th. In other snack news regarding to Oreos, they're bringing back the blueberry pie Oreos. So let's get into this right here since we on the Oreo topic. So after years of begging, the fan favorite blueberry pie flavored Oreo cookies are back. This took place on Thursday, June 26th. The snack brand announced that blueberry pie Oreos are returning after being unavailable since 2017. The graham crackered cookies are squeezed together with a blueberry flavored cream between. The fruity sandwich cookies are the brand's top five flavor mentioned by fans on social media, according to a press release, and will be available at grocery stores nationwide for a limited time, which took place on July 7th. Can't wait to get a taste of the pie flavored cookies. Fans with a hankering for the comeback cookies can register online and um already took place from June 29th to June 26th to June 29th for pre-sale access. Then on June 30th, the registered customers will be alerted of the pre-sale packs and can order them. Okay, so people with an affinity for fruity nostalgic flavors have more goodies to enjoy this summer. Retro Diet Cherry Coke will be back on the shelves in mid-July. Mid-July, a spokesperson for Coca-Cola confirmed to People in early June. The limited time vintage inspired soft drink, not to be confused with the modern Coca-Cola Zero Cherry, first hit shelves in the United States in 1986. The cherry flavored drink will be stocked exclusively at the Kroger family of stores. The spokesperson confirmed, including City Market, Dillon's, Food for Less, Metro Market, Pick and Pick and Save, and more. Oh wow. Shit, I never even heard of these fucking places. But hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Oh shit. Oh man. Let me see. Anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I want to get into Let's get into some movie news right now, actually. Let's get into some movie news right now, man. I want to make a clarification on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie franchise. All right. I want to make a clarification, actually. Of course, I heard it from a YouTuber, which I'm not gonna say who, but I'm going to actually get into it right here, right now, in this segment right here. Hold on a second. Hang on a second. Yes. Movie Man Cave Popcorn. Here we go. I'd like to make a clarification on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie franchise. Um, in case you probably don't remember, episodes ago, I talked about the complete merger of Paramount and Skydance. which already has been completed. And I want to actually make a clarification on. This actually. So I actually wanted to actually look this up real quick. So based on the statement, actually, I want to actually see this. So a little bit of a recap in case you didn't know what happened. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie franchise has not been sold to Skydance. Rather, Skydance has completed a merger with Paramount Global, the distributor of the Sonic films. This merger places the Sonic franchise under Skydance's leadership within the newly formed Paramount Skydance Corporation, which is expected to influence the future direction of the multimedia property. Let's see. So, a breakdown of what happened actually. So, number one, Paramount situation. Paramount Global was in a difficult financial position and needed to merge with another company to ensure its future survival. Skydance's role. Skydance Media was a long-standing production partner for Paramount and eventually decided to acquire Paramount's parent company, National Amusements. The merger, the $8 billion plus merger between Paramount and Skydance, was completed in August 2025. Number four, shift in leadership following the merger. Skydance's leadership, headed by CEO David Ellison, will now oversee the strategic direction of Paramount and its properties, including the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Number five, impact on Sonic. While not a direct sale of the franchise, the merger means new leadership at the helm, which will influence the future of the Sonic films, spin-offs, and other multimedia ventures. So yeah, there you go. There you go right there. There you go. There you go right there. And yeah, so this is in August. So this was in August of last month actually. So let me see. And Paramount and Skydance, right? So I don't think it's going to affect a Quiet Place franchise. I don't think it's going to affect the Transformers films and their spin-offs. Um, it's not going to affect Smile Films. It's not going to. It's not going to affect South Park. Um, yeah, everything's so so. Everything that I just said um, is actually confirmed that Sonic the Hedgehog movie franchise has not been sold to Skydance. It's still part of Paramount. So you know what I'm saying? And let me see. So it doesn't affect the TV shows like Tulsa King. There's let me just take a look here. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect let me see. Yeah, this Tulsa King spinoffs. Um yeah, the Tulsa King spinoff is not gonna affect the Tulsa King spinoff set in New Orleans next year. Um that's where they're shooting. And I don't think it's going to affect it's not going to affect South Park. It's not going to I don't think it's going to affect the Ninja Turtles franchise, Star Trek. Of course, obviously Matlock that got renewed, and of course Starfleet Academy. I don't think it's going to be affected by that. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog movie franchise is good. All right, so it is good. Now let's get into a previous movie that came out, which is K-pop Demon Hunters. Let's get into this right here in this box office result, according to Variety. So, in a box office twist, a film from the theatrical Averse Netflix appears to be number one on North American charts. K-pop Demon Hunters, a sing-along version of the hit animated musical, is estimated to have earned $18 million to $20 million on Saturday and Sunday. Excuse me, Saturday and Sunday. Netflix isn't reporting grosses, but projections from rival studios and exhibitors would put ticket sales for K-pop Demon Hunters ahead of those weapons, which I'll talk about that next, which returned to number one, which was expected to claim first place and looks to earn a strong $15.6 million from 3,631 North American theaters in its third weekend of release. K-pop Demon Hunters is playing on 1,700 screens. That's more than double the theater count for the streamer's Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery in 2022. With roughly 1,150 sold out showings, knowledgeable sources that K-pop Demon Hunters, a fantasy adventure about a K-pop girl group protecting the world from demons with their music, is available on the big screen, and all is rare, and not just because it's backed by Netflix, which doesn't prioritize theatrical. Of course, it's by Sony Pictures Animation, produced Sony Pictures Animation, which produced the film, directed by Maggie Kang and Chris Applehands. It's also unusual because K-pop Demon Hunters isn't new. The movie debuted on Netflix about 2 months ago, but in the time since, it has become the second most watched film ever on the platform, where 3 of the film's original tunes, Golden, Your Idol, and Soda Pop, are currently in the top 10 of Billboard's Hot 100 chart. Though it's a boon for theaters during a painfully slow weekend, that's not why Netflix brought K-pop Demon Hunters to multiplexes. The streaming behemoth is hoping that excitement will drive fans back to the platform for rewatches, or the inevitable sequel. AMC Theaters, the world's largest circuit, is the only major chain that isn't playing K-pop Demon Hunters. For 48 hours, this made-for-television film is playing to sold-out audiences who are singing, dancing, dressing up, and losing themselves in the fun. That's pop entertainment at its best, says analyst David A. Gross of Franchise Entertainment Research. There is no cinema score, but audiences, particularly kids, love this movie. That's why it's here. Although Weapons likely won't finish in first place after all, the scary movie has achieved sleeper hit status, $115.9 million domestically and $199 million globally. The $38 million budget film is the latest theatrical hit for director Zach Krieger, whose last film, Barbarian, became a quiet success for Disney in 2022 with $45 million. And it's the 6th consecutive winner for Warner Brothers, following a Minecraft movie, Sinners, Final Destination, Bloodlines, F1 the movie, which the studio distributed for Apple, and Superman. Right now, the overall box office is 5.1% ahead of last year, a margin that has been rapidly shrinking over the past few months. By comparison, revenues in early June were 25% ahead of 2024. After a slower end to the summer, the all-important season will fall short of the elusive $4 billion mark. Oof. Ticket sales are currently at $3.5 billion from May through late August, the 4-month stretch that's regularly the busiest of the year for the movie theater business. Only once since the Slamdemic has the summer season managed to surpass $4 billion, a benchmark that was common before COVID disrupted the industry. This is one of the slowest weekends of the year as we head into the final week and a half of the summer, says senior Comscore analyst Paul Garabedian. It's not great news in terms of the summer revenue outlook. However, he notes in quote, the bright spot is that Weapons continues its impressive run, as does Freakier Friday, with both enjoying strongholds in their third weekends of release. Disney's Freakier Friday likely placed third with $9.1 million in its third weekend, a scant 36% drop from the prior weekend. The PG sequel, reuniting Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis as mother and daughter who swap places, has earned $70 million in North America and $113 million worldwide to date. Those ticket sales are trailing the 2003 original Freaky Friday, which earned $160 million, but it's a promising turnout for a theatrical comedy in the current box office landscape. This weekend's only new nationwide release, Ethan Cohen's dark comedy Honey Don't, landed at number 8 with a soft 3 million from 1,317 venues. Oh shit, that's fucked up. Opening weekend crowds were largely female, 56% female, while nearly 70% were over the age of 25. Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, Chris Evans, and Charlie Day star in the film about a small town private investigator who delves into a series of strange deaths that are tied to a mysterious church. Honey Don't is the second installment in that um, Cohen calls a lesbian B movie trilogy following 2024's Drive Away Dolls. That film, which also starred Qualley and also garnered mixed reviews, failed to connect at the box office with 2.4 million dollars in its debut and under $8 million globally by the end of its run. Elsewhere, A24 re-released an English version of China's blockbuster smash Ni Ni Ja 2. But excitement didn't translate to the States. The film, which boasts Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh among the English language voice cast, grossed a tepid $1.5 million from 2,228 theaters, marking one of the worst starts this year for a movie in wide release. Of course, Ninja 2 doesn't exactly need the North American coinage. The sequel has already shattered all kinds of box office records in the rest of the world with $2.1 billion to date. As the summer season grinds to a near halt, several holdover several holdover titles rounded out the top five. Disney's Marvel's adventure, The Fantastic Four, First Steps remained in fourth with $5.9 million in its fifth weekend of release. After a promising $117 million bow. Fantastic Four didn't have much staying power with ticket sales at $257 million in North America and $490 million worldwide. Um, the movie is far outselling this year's prior Marvel entries. February's Captain America Brave New World $415 million globally, and May's Thunderbolts $382 million globally. But it's not quite the return to box office form that many were predicting for the once untouchable Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Bad Guys 2 again took fifth place with $5.1 million in its fourth frame. Universal and DreamWorks Animation's heist comedy has generated $66 million domestically and $149 million globally. By comparison, 2022's original Bad Guys was a slow and steady hit with $250 million over the course of its run. A limited release, Ron Howard's survival thriller Eden earned a muted $1.04 million from 664 venues, averaging $1,577 per location. Sydney Sweeney, Anna D. Armours, Vanessa Kirby, Jude Law, and Daniel Bro star in the R-rated film about European settlers who seek new life on a previously uninhabited island in the Galapagos. Vertigo acquired Eden 8 months after it premiered to mixed reviews at the Toronto Film Festival. Everybody's shitting on Sydney Sweeney all because of that American Eagle jeans clothing line that she did for the ad commercial, and she's doing this other ad for the for shoes with it's like shoes related. I actually saw it earlier when she was on. Let me look up the. Let me look up the. I'm gonna look up the name right now. Actually, let me take a look and see. I gotta take a look, man. Let's take a look. All right. Okay. Sydney Sweeney. Shoe ad. Okay, let's see. So let me see. Yeah, Jimmy Choo. Yeah, Jimmy Choo is the name that she's on. Yeah, Jimmy Choo. Okay. All right. So let me see. Let me see. What else? What else? What else can I talk about? Oh yes. Let's talk about weapons returning to number one. Let's talk about that. All right. So box office welcome to the dog days of summer. In this terribly sluggish Labor Day holiday weekend, a horror movie in its fourth weekend of release was number one, while a 50-year-old blockbuster beat out two newcomers. Weapons, after briefly ceding the crown to Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters, reclaimed the top spot in North America with $10.2 million over the traditional weekend and an estimated $12.4 million through Monday. So far, the Scary Movie has earned $134.6 million domestically and $250 million globally against a $38 million budget. Zach Krieger, or Kreger, however you pronounce it. Kreger's sleeper success is the latest theatrical winner for Warner Brothers, which suffered a rocky start to let me see, suffered a rocky start to the year, but has since rebounded with hits like a Minecraft movie, Sinners, Final Destination, Bloodlines, F1 the movie, which was distributed by Superman. In second place, a Jaws 50th anniversary re-release collected $8.1 million from 3,200 theaters over the weekend and an estimated $9.8 million through Monday. Turns out that shark still has teeth. Those ticket sales were above two new major studio offerings: Sony's crime comedy Caught Stealing and Searchlight's marriage satire The Roses. Jaws is widely credited with launching the summer blockbuster with its outsized profits, making studios realize the appeal of releasing films when kids were out of school, well as the merchandising opportunities that an escapist adventure can create. Caught Stealing, directed by Darren Aronofsky and starring Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz landed at number three with $7.8 million over the traditional weekend and an estimated $9.5 million over the 4 day holiday frame. It's a so start for the $40 million budgeted film about a New York City bartender who finds himself in the crosshairs of threatening gangsters after agreeing to watch his neighbor's cat. Though reviews were positive, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, moviegoers weren't as enthusiastic and gave the film a B grade on CinemaScore exit polls. This opening is good, not great, says analyst David A. Gross of Franchise Entertainment Research. There are a lot of crime thrillers, and this is not an easy sell following a summer lineup of event pictures. Fourth place went to Disney's Freakier Friday, the sequel to the 2003 body switching comedy Freaky Friday, which earned $6.5 million over the weekend and $8.3 million across the 4 day holiday. Its domestic gross should stand at just over $80 million, and its global haul will hit $130 million through Labor Day. Meanwhile, the Roses debuted in fifth place with $6.4 million over the weekend and an estimated $8 million through Labor Day. Directed by Jay Roach and loosely based on the 1981 novel The War of the Roses. The story follows a seemingly picture perfect couple with serious cracks in the relationship. Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman lead the cast alongside the ensemble of Andy Samberg, who you may know from the previous show Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Allison Janney, and Kate McKinnon. Critics didn't love the film, 64% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audiences seem fonder granting The Roses a B plus grade on CinemaScore. This is a soft start, says Gross. These days, a release like this will finish quickly on its way to good auxiliary business again, driven by the quality cast. Perhaps it felt overly familiar. The War of the Roses was already adapted into a 1989 film with Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito. Unlike The Roses, it was a huge hit, earning $160 million, a huge sum of a huge sum for the time. Labor Day isn't known for packing in crowds at the movies, so it's no surprise that this weekend was among the softest of the year. Overall, the 4 day stretch brought in roughly 86 million dollars, a 19% decline from last year's holiday, which was powered by Marvel's billion-dollar blockbuster Deadpool and Wolverine. The summer season officially ended with domestic revenues at $3.67 billion, down 0.2% from 2024, and a whopping 10.2% behind 2023, according to ComScore. That's disappointing news for the business, which thought this crop of sequels, spin-offs, and superhero adventures would be enough to push ticket sales to $4 billion. Better luck next summer. Wow. 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 That's funny. That's funny, man. Wow. Okay. Let's see. What else can? Yes. Yes. Let's talk about the list of actors to play James Bond. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's see. List of. Let me see. List of. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. All right. In other movie news, there are a list of actors who are rumored to actually play on the new 007. So let's check this out right. So let's check this out right here. Actually, it's weird, but I'm like, wait a minute here. Hold on one second here. Hold on one second here. So, a list of, jeez. Hold on a second here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh wow. Oh wow. As a matter of fact, let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. So list of actors who are um replacing Daniel Craig actually. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look. So you got Tom Holland, who is also Spider-Man. Jacob Elordi. Oh shit. Hang on a minute. Yeah, let's read a little something here, man. Hold on. So yes, the next James Bond probably isn't going to be chosen for a while. Probably not probably isn't going to be chosen for a little while longer yet. But with news of a new movie in the works, speculation is ramping up. It's been a few years since Daniel Craig hung up his license to kill in No Time to Die, which means it's time to pass the martini to a new contender. All right, so the new film is set to be helmed by Dune's Dennis Velen, um, Dennis um, Vil Villeneuve, Villeneuve. And while no bond has been cast yet, the reported wish list includes Harrison Dickinson, Jacob Elordi, and none other than Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland. They've been thrown into the mix alongside long-rumored candidates like Tom Hardy and Aaron Taylor Johnson. The future is wide open, with Amazon gaining creative control of the franchise too. Plus, if all that wasn't enough, Hitman developer IOI is working on James Bond game 007 First Light. In short, there's a ton of 007 on the way. So for the lowdown on who might be the next James Bond, head to our roundup below. This is from Games Radar, folks. All right, so yes, as I said before, there's Tom Holland, on who's also Spider-Man, of course. Amazon's wish list for the next 007 reportedly includes Tom Holland, aka Spider-Man himself. Holland would seem to fit the bill, being a young English actor, though typically Bonds are a little more unknown before being cast. Intriguingly, Holland actually pitched a young Bond story before, which ultimately sparked an idea for how to approach the Uncharted movie, which he did star in. Jacob Elordi, Euphoria and Saltburn star Jacob Elordi, is also reportedly on Amazon's wish list. Again, Olori seems the right age to play the new 007, and while he's not English, we have had an Australian Bond before in Lazen, George Lazenby. Nothing is confirmed for now, but Elordi certainly seems to have the acting chops and physicality for the role. Aaron Taylor Johnson, previously Aaron Taylor Johnson hadn't been widely seen as a front runner to replace Daniel Craig as Bond. Multiple reports from The Sun, however, changed things. The UK newspaper said the Kick-Ass and Bullet Train actor had a screen test in September 2022, and producer Barbara Broccoli loved him. 18 months later, and sources close to the same publication said Bond is Aaron's job. Should he wish to accept it? Yeah, that's a good question. The latest update came amid the news of Bond moving to Amazon in February 2025, when it was revealed that Broccoli did meet with him. However, it's not been confirmed yet whether he will become the next 007. Watch this place. Watch this space. Tom Hardy. Obvious, maybe, but there's a reason why the British actor is currently one of the bookies' favorites to take over from Daniel Craig. Hardy has showcased his action chops in the likes of The Dark Knight Rises and Mad Max Fury Road, showing a physical transformation throughout his career that would lend itself well to a hard-hitting Bond. Remains to be seen, man. Remains to be seen. One thing that may count against Hardy, especially if the Bond producers are thinking long term in his age. Hardy will be nearing his 50s by the time the cameras get rolling. It's no real roadblock for someone of Hardy's talents, but the franchise could go in a different younger direction. Roger Moore in A View to a Kill should be a cautionary tale. Henry Cavill, another household name, another Bond frontrunner. Those who have seen Henry Cavill in The Man from Uncle will know that stepping into a tux won't be much of a problem for the Man of Steel actor. He's got the looks, charm, and could easily slide into the role with minimum fuss. Cavill even previously auditioned for the role, losing out to Craig in 2005 when he was just 22 years old. We've actually seen the audition too after it was recently released online. There are many marks against Cavill, though none are of his own making. He departed The Witcher after 3 seasons, and any Superman-shaped holes in his schedule disappeared despite the character's return in Black Adam. Can he hold down a franchise anymore? The fact that the Bond had honchos don't usually go for an actor with huge name recognition also counts against him. That's not their style. Cavill might be ruled out on that one. Idris Alba, I doubt it. Is bloody cool, isn't he? On that alone, he should be Bond. Then you look at his body of work, from The Wire to Beast of No Nation and beyond. Alba has showcased his considerable talents across big budget blockbusters, small scale crime dramas, and even Knuckles. It's Luther, the BBC series that sees Alba play a London detective, that offers the most compelling case for the British star to become the first black actor to play Bond. His presence is unmatched, and Luther has gone toe to toe with a rogues gallery that wouldn't look out of place in a 007 flick. Did we also mention he's really cool? Again, age could work against the actor. Albert's 52. Plus, for his part, Albert told Capital Extra in early 2021 that he's aware of the rumors, but content with his lot. I know the rumors about Bond have always chased me, he said. Listen, my poor mom is like, one day you are going to get it. I was like, Mom, I'm good. I've got Luther. I'm definitely doing that. More recently, he told ITV that he's definitely not going to be the next James Bond. And the story. Maybe, maybe not. Producer Barbara Broccoli told Deadline that his long-term link to the role has been part of the conversation, and added that the pair were friends, calling him a magnificent actor. Alba has also lately reaffirmed that he's sticking with Luther, telling the World Government Summit in Dubai, a lot of people talk about another character that begins with J and ends with B, but I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to be John Luther. That's who I am. And yes, and he's also going to continue with Knuckles. So season 2 is probably going to be out like what, 2029 or some shit. We'll see what happens. Um, Ray J, Jean Page. Not sure who he is, but thanks to his role as the Duke of Hastings in Netflix's Bridgerton, Ray J. Jean Page was once at the front of some observers' next James Bond list, establishing himself as a charming favorite and the most likely to leave audiences feeling a little hot under the collar. Page even has a former Bond seal of approval, with Pierce Brosnan telling Entertainment Tonight that he would be a wonderful choice to replace Bond. Even if the whole Bond thing doesn't shake out, Page has another spy project in the works. Ironically, it's a reboot of The Saint, the show that put Roger Moore on the map before he made the leap to the Bond franchise. Lashana Lynch. Don't know who that is actually. Don't know who that is actually. Lashana Lynch, who played new 007 agent Nomi in No Time to Die, is someone who has spoken out about in Hugh Shed tones as someone who could maybe, just maybe, the series, take over as the series' new lead. Her performance in Daniel Craig's Bond Swan song was met with positive reviews, with critics citing her character's straight shooting attitude and clear aptitude, with a quip or two always ready in the holster. Lynch becoming the new lead would be a major step forward and would mean rethinking how audiences see the franchise, potentially as the series without James Bond as the character, but a new 007. On the topic of a potential female James Bond, however, the creators behind the series look set to keep the character male. Exactly. Exactly. Keep it male. Don't try to change the fucking character of a 007 franchise. Don't do that. Don't do that, because that'll be a fucking disaster if you try to change the character from a male to a woman. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, producer Barbara Broccoli told the press association that James Bond is a male character. Yes, while Daniel Craig said James Bond shouldn't be played by a woman because there's a need for strong female roles away from the long shadow of an iconic male character. The answer to that is very simple, he said in a Radio Times interview. There should be there should simply be better parts for women and actors of color. Why should a woman play James Bond when there should be a part just as good as James Bond but for a woman? Nomi certainly a great female part. The question remains whether the producers are ready to move forward without James Bond as the series lead. That's not gonna happen, man. Don't fucking mess that shit up, please. Let's see. A good secret agent needs to be a jack of all trades. Cillian Murphy is a step above that, often disappearing into his roles in everything from his Oscar-winning turn in Oppenheimer and Peaky Blinders to a member of a horror ensemble in A Quiet Place Part 2, and those are just some of his recent projects. There's little wonder then that Murphy's in the frame to play James Bond. He's got the action chops, the looks, the style, the swagger, and just about anything else that's ever been associated with the role. The only question mark might be whether Murphy can truly hold up a franchise, and he answered that empathetically with his role in Oppenheimer. However, no, Murphy, however, is now also one of the older candidates at 48 years old. Sam Hoog, Sam Hoogan. Anyone who has seen Sam Hoogan in either Outlander or SAS Red Notice will know that Scott would comfortably marry Daniel Craig's softer sensibilities with the modern day muscular tendencies required to be an all out action hero. Red Notice, more than most projects, felt like a secret audition for Bond, one passed with flying colors. Hugan is one of many actors to address speculation on whether he want to play Bond. He told in Esquire he's a great actor and would certainly be a fascinating character study and place to kick off. At age 44 though, Hugan risked falling into the not quite sprightly enough to lead a new action franchise for the next 20 years. Shit. A category many speculators believe next James Bond will likely fall into. Um, Sope Darisu. Those who know Sope Darisu from Gangs of London have already seen a star-making performance bolstered by the action chops, and physical presence required for a modern day 007. He's also someone who had admitted he tries to do all his stunts, which could give him the edge in any potential audition process. Hmm. Time too is on his side. At 34, he's among the youngest of the leading names for the gig, and Darisu himself is aware that his name has been in the frame for a while. It's something that has crept over time. He told the Hollywood Reporter of his name being linked to the Bond franchise. But then you do a Gangs of London and the world gets to see you. Richard Madden, um, not to be confused with John Madden. um, Richard Madden certainly fits the mold of the next Bond. A recognizable actor, but not too much of a big name. Stoic when he needs to be, and always has a one-liner handy. Madden's career so far has seen him lead well. The Bodyguard and Game of Thrones are both highly adept performances that should have producers eyeing him up as a potential Bond. At 38, Madden is around the same age Daniel Craig was when cast as 007. So the franchise's long-term future will be in safe hands. Let's see. Jack Lowden has a shot to top to the top of a handful Bond wish list after his turn as Agent River Cartwright in the critically acclaimed Apple series Slow Horses. As is tradition, seemingly every 30 something actor is linked with Bond or has commented, on it. Loden is no different. Speaking to Radio Times, he said he doesn't envy the task of picking a replacement, though his co-star Kristen Scott Thomas suggested he'd be very good at picking up the Bond baton from Daniel Craig. Dave Patel, the mere thought of having a Bond born in the 90s may turn some of us to dust, but Dave Patel would fit the character like a glove. His age counts in his favor, but it's his continually more accomplished performances throughout his relatively short career that made him rise above most other candidates. The Green Knight has cemented Patel as one of Hollywood's leading lights, while stints in the newsroom and the personal history of David Copperfield show off a more restrained side that's often required for the Bond job. The claim around Monkey Man. Yeah, he was in Monkey Man. Yes. Yes. The claim around Monkey Man bolsters his case further. Speaking to Total Film, Patel expressed faint bemusement at being linked with Bond, but is happy to be part of the conversation. I don't know why that is, he said. I guess that I should take it as a compliment. But I feel like hasn't every young British actor been associated with Bond at some point? I'm sure. Sorry, Dev. As this article shows, we're probably not helping at this point. Harris Dickinson, as resumes go, they don't get far more impressive at 28 than Harris Dickinson. So far in his fledgling career, he's appeared in the likes of Triangle of Sadness, The Kingsman, and The Iron Claw. That effortless straddling between blockbuster and indie darlings is likely to endear himself to those involved in the casting process. For his part, he told ES Magazine in 2022 that he doesn't think he will be in the frame for the next James Bond, an MI6 style ruse, or merely keeping his cards close to his chest. Either way, those are tactics that will make for a good 007. Interestingly, though, Dickinson is in fact reportedly on Amazon's wish list for the next 007. So watch this space. Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston may lack the physical presence of a Daniel Craig or Sean Connery, but you only need to look at his lead role in BBC miniseries The Night Manager, which is making a surprise return soon, to see why he's tailor made to be the next Bond. Emphasis on tailor. Yes, he looks annoyingly good in a suit, and yes, he seems to ooze charisma across from any female lead. Um, but he's also got a believably silver tongue and would look just as comfortable striding the halls of MI6 as he would in some far-flung Mediterranean locale. Barbara Barbara Broccoli may not want to opt for the easy Bond choice, but if she does, Tom Hiddleston is right there. The only issue may be balancing Bond with future Marvel work. Hiddleston's schedule may be lighter after where his character ended up in Loki season 2, however. James Norton, if you believe the bookmakers, James Norton is never too far away from being the next Bond. His McMafia character, Alex, may be the polar opposite to Bond in a lot of respects, but they share the same fabric. Each commands a room and each presents a glowing facade that can be peeled away at any moment to show off a more brutal, narcissistic side. As the above entries have made clear, a lot of boxes need to be ticked for Bond, not least a not too lofty celebrity presence, and not too many years on the birth certificate. James Norton hasn't been overly exposed and has many decades as a stellar actor ahead, so now could be the perfect time for him to be the next James Bond. Uh, I don't know, man. Jonathan Bailey, while not as prominent as some of the household names on the list, Jonathan Bailey, who most will know as Anthony in Bridgerton, has built up a considerable body of work. Of course, Broadchurch crashing on both stage and screen. At age 36, he's also primed to lead Bond for the next decade or so. And feels like a Brosnan-esque mix of charm, good looks, and carrying the twin weapons of a wry smile and killer instincts. Henry Golden, we may know from Shang-Chi. We may know from Shang-Chi, um, the movie. It is the opportunity for change, Henry Golden told The Guardian back in September 2020 when asked about James Bond. Hold on. Be it female, male, bi, gay, straight, trans, Asian, black, Latina. Golden could be part of that wave of change, becoming the first Asian actor to play Bond. He's already built up a solid resume, starring in Snake Eyes, Crazy Rich Asians, The Gentleman, and The Last Christmas. Arguably, each showcases a different side to Bond, from action hero all the way through to tender heart. However, Snake Eyes proved a box office bomb, which may not work against Golden. Jamie Bell, from Billy Elliot to James Bond, it's not too much of a stretch to suggest Jamie Bell could take on the role, especially as his path follows Daniel Craig's own career trajectory. Trajectory of knocking it out of the park in a smaller budget films before making the leap to MI6. Those who only know him from the ill-fated 2015 Fantastic Four reboot should seek out Snowpiercer, Rocketman, and his BAFTA-nominated role in Film Stars Don't Lie in Liverpool for a taste of his talents. Bell's yet to have that blockbuster leading role. Perhaps Bond could finally be it. Boy, oh man, John Boyega. Boyega has already thrown his hat into the ring to be the next Bond. We could show them something different, he told MTV when asked about starring as Bond in a movie with Small Axe collaborator Steve McQueen. We still bring this sophistication. You know, James Bond has to be James Bond, but we could do something with that. Boyega would certainly be a popular and comfortable choice given his days anchoring the Star Wars sequel trilogy as ex-Stormtrooper Finn. Plus, the actor has shown to be capable of starring in other big blockbusters, having been at the center of Pacific Rim Uprising and Catherine um, Bigelow's Detroit. Working against Boyega would be his name recognition. Let's see. Let's see. It's not what I meant. Let's see. Let's see. Who else besides John Boyega in in the running? Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Will Poulter. Will Poulter has long been a fan favorite for James Bond, but his dance card might already be full with his role as Adam Warlock in the MCU, which could potentially evolve into a long-term position. While Poulter hasn't addressed any talk of him playing 007 next, he has plenty of ideas of where the Bond franchise should go. The more psychologically complex and granular they get with Bond, the better. Because I think it's a mistake to ever treat Bond as a carrot carrot excuse me caricature. Poulter told GQ at an event celebrating Bond's 60th anniversary. Dan Stevens, with a $1 billion movie already under his belt in Beauty and the Beast, Dan Stevens already has the Goldfinger like Midas touch, though the actor was, of course, cloaked in CGI as the tit- titular titular beast. Excuse me. Without the effects, can Stevens be a truly intimidating physical threat like Bond? Well, look at the actor's work in Legion, the X-Men spin-off series, and you can see the potential for an introspective yet frenetic double agent to shoot down the barrel, or better yet, a glance at Netflix's Eurovision movie showcases the actor's sheer amount of range. There's no doubting his abilities. Perhaps Bond could be the role he was born to play. He might not. He might have to beat off a few actors to get the gig, though. Kaluuya, that's a big if, man. Big if. James Bond movies don't always bring in multifaceted actors to play 007. Roger Moore could be one note, while Timothy Dalton always played his Bond harder than most. Make no mistake, Daniel Kaluuya wouldn't be quite so dimensional, excuse me. One of the one of the finest actors of his generation, Kaluuya can juggle the demands of the role. It may not be the 35-year-old's most notable work, but his role in Widows highlights the dangerous presence needed for Bond. Then there's his Oscar-winning performance in Judas and the Black Messiah that proves Kaluuya can be the most dominant presence in any room. Again, arguably an already known name, and that's not quite Bond's style, but Kaluuya has the ability to take the role in any direction. Although a drawback is that Kaluuya has said he'd be more interested in playing a Bond villain than 007 himself, but never say never. Clive Standen, not yet a household name, a good thing for a prospective Bond. Clive Standen has starred in Vikings, Camelot, and BBC series Robin Hood, each role allowing him to showcase all manner of styles, suaveness across the ages, capturing the timeless quality that Bond requires. Perhaps his most obvious Bond-like role is playing the lead character in the Taken TV series, based on the Liam Neeson starring Taken movies. Curiously, Standings one of the few consistent front runners with bookmakers. Do they sound something? Do they know something we don't? Tom Hopper, the Umbrella Academy's Tom Hopper, once launched to the front of the next James Bond conversation after a sudden surge in the betting market. The actor certainly has action chops and the look, but would he be interested? He told We Got This Covered any British actor will be lying if they say that James Bond wasn't up there as a dream role. So it's very nice to be in that conversation. Mark this one down as an outside possibility. Chai Whittel, EGO4 has long been linked as the next James Bond, and has quietly built up an extensive body of work that would rank among any actor on this list. His Academy Award nomination for 12 Years a Slave and his work in blockbusters including The Lion King and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness show off an actor who gives his all, no matter the film. The best Bonds can wear many hats. EGO4, in that sense, is more than capable of straddling the line between nuanced characters, work, and explosive physical performances. The search may be ongoing, but the above names could all be the ones to take the James Bond franchise into the future. Now look to the now look now a look excuse me. Now a look to the past. We've ranked all of the best Bond movies. If you are planning Double 007 marathon, here's a guide on how to watch the James Bond movies in order. So there you go, right there. These are the list of actors possibly rumored to play James Bond to replace Daniel Craig. So remains to be seen. It hasn't been official yet as far as like who will be taking over the franchise. For damn, a decade of doing James Bond movie franchise, that's a lot. That's a lot of fucking work, man. And that's a lot of work though, man. Oh man. Oh my gosh, man. Oh man. Speaking of a lot of work, man. Speaking of a lot of work, man. I want to get into some TV news in regards to what's going on with the BET Hip Hop Awards and Soul Train. All right. When it comes to TV news, we got TV show checkouts. All right. Here we go. Hold on. All right. All right. Let's talk about what's going on with hold on a second here. Yeah, I want to talk about what's going on with the BET Hip Hop Awards and Soul Train, right? Hold on a second. I do have what's going on from an article. Let me look for it. That's not it. Let me look for it though. Let me see. Okay, what's going on? Let me see. Let me find it. Let me find it though. Okay, here we go. And this is from the Vibe website, actually. In case anybody's wondering, here's what's going on with those two TV shows. So BET has officially hit pause on two of the most iconic shows, the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards. Both award shows have reportedly been according to the network. BET CEO Scott Mills confirmed the news in an interview with Billboard, saying, "So for BET Linear, we have suspended the Soul Train and Hip Hop Award shows, but we have." Hang on a second, man. What is this? Yeah, yeah, we have suspended. Yeah, but we have a team. We have suspended the Soul Train and Hip Hop Award shows, but we have a team that's actively thinking about where those award shows might best live as the media climate continues to evolve. They aren't gone, and we also still have the NAACP Image Awards and the Stella Awards. Clarifying further, he added, "It's less about them being no longer and more about our team having to reimagine them for this changing media landscape that we find ourselves in. I think what we're going to see are more people taking franchises and saying, this might have started on linear television, but now I'm going to move it to another space. Do I move it to something or do I move it to another platform?" The BET Hip Hop Awards launched in 2006, while the Soul Train Awards traces back to 1987. For decades, both shows have celebrated artists and influential figures' contributions to Black culture and music. The original BET Awards currently remains active as it recently celebrated 25 years since its inception. BET also recently announced a revamping of its hit show 106 in Park into 106 in Sports. Mills explained to Billboard, 106 in Sports is a collaboration with Spring Hill Entertainment, and everybody is working feverishly to get it ready to launch in the fall. We're going to start with a weekly show at that point with lots of wonderful guests. It will apply the best elements of the 106 in Park structure and format to the sports world. He emphasized that while music remains central to BET, the network is recognizing how sports have become an integral part of the culture. Adding another layer to the network's evolution, last year, Paramount Global reportedly put BET on the market with an asking price between 1.6 and 1.7 billion dollars. That's 1.6 and 1.7 billion dollars. That's a lot of money, man. If you fucking think about it, that is a lot of money. I mean, yo, that's a lot, man. That's a lot to ask. Alrighty then. According to Variety, this executive offer was extended to potential buyers, including Mills, who joined BET in 1997 and became CEO in 2021. Past prospective buyers, including Tyler Perry, Sean Diddy Combs, and Byron Allen. All right. In other TV news, speaking of award shows, the MTV Video Music Awards, we got to talk about that too. Let's talk about it. And this is from Marie Claire. All right, so summer may be approaching its end, but music fans are getting ready to celebrate. The MTV Video Music Awards is almost here to honor the past year in music with jaw dropping performances, iconic pop culture moments, and the return of red carpet glamour. Stateside after film festivals dominated the summer in fashion. This year's ceremony is once again all all about the pop divas, with several of the biggest women in music expected to grace the stage and pick up a moon person or two. I don't know what that is, though, man. Don't ask me. With just days to go, we've rounded up all the details of when the 2025 VMAs are, how to watch the award show, and what A-listers are expected to attend. Of course, you can read on everything you need to know about the 2025 VMAs. So, when are the 2025 MTV VMAs? The 2025 VMAs will air live on CBS and MTV and stream live on Paramount Plus on Sunday, September 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Eastern Time and Pacific Time. For the second year, the event will be held at the UBS Arena on New York's Long Island. Yeah, y'all probably familiar with that. Y'all probably familiar with it though, man. You know what I mean? The hell? Let me see. Let me see. So this will be the first year that the award ceremony will air live on CBS and simulcast on MTV. How to watch the 2025 MTV VMAs, you ask? If you still have cable, you can tune into your local CBS or MTV channel or use your cable login to watch from your computer or phone via CBS or MTV's website or app. The VMAs will also stream on the Paramount Plus app. Paramount Plus subscriptions start at $8 per month for the essential tier and $13 per month for the ad-free premium tier, which includes Showtime as well. Both tiers offer a 7-day free trial. If you neither have cable nor a Paramount Plus subscription, are there are still ways to watch the 2025 VMAs. Live streaming TV services like Hulu, Live TV, DirecTV Stream, Fubo, and YouTube Live provide access to CBS and offer free trials. How to watch the 2025 MTV VMAs pre-show. MTV but not CBS will also air the 2025 VMAs pre-show on September 7th starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. An hour ahead of the main ceremony, the red carpet show will be hosted by Nessa from Hot 97 and Kenny, and global girl group Cat's Eye will perform their latest singles, Gnarly and Gabriella. Um, who is hosting the 2025 MTV VMAs? Obviously, LL Cool J will MC this year's VMAs, pulling double duty as the host and a nominee for Best Hip Hop Video alongside Eminem for Murdergram, um, Murdergram, Murdergram, Diox, or Do, however you pronounce this. The Hesperon rapper and five-time Grammy host has a long history with the VMAs. He was the first rapper to receive the Video Vanguard Award in 1997, and he co-hosted the awards in 2022 alongside Nicki Minaj and Jack Harlow. Who is performing at the 2025 MTV VMAs, you ask? Several of 2025 biggest artists are set to hit the VMA stage. Alex Warren, Conan Gray, Doja Cat, Jelly Roll, Lady Gaga, J Balvin featuring DJ Snake. Oh man, DJ Snake. Um, Post Malone, Sabrina Carpenter, Somber, and Tate McRae. Busta Rhymes will also perform and receive the Rock the Bells Visionary Award, recognizing his cultural impact, while Ricky Martin will take the stage and receive the Latin Icon Award, honoring his 4-decade career that launched Latin music and culture into the mainstream per MTV. Bailey Zimmerman featuring the Kid, um, Leroy, Lolo Young, and Megan Maroney are also set to perform as part of the VMA's extended play stage. Let me see. Who is presenting at the 2025 VMAs, you ask? MTV has announced that the presenters for this year's VMAs will range from pop royalty to Netflix stars, both live action and animated. The full list of presenters includes sisters Jessica Simpson and Ashley Simpson Ross, Sierra, Drew Barrymore, Ice Spice, Lotto, Livy, Dune, the Hunting Wives stars Brittany Snow and Malin Ackerman, Megan Stalter, Nikki Glazer, and Paris Hilton. Also, K-pop Demon Hunters, EJ Audrey Nuna, and Ray Ami, the real life singers behind Hunter and X, will make their television debut and maybe hopefully sing a few bars of Golden. Alexandra Ambrosio, Big Sean, Busta Rhymes, Carson Daly, Cindy Looper, um, Damiano David, Donna, DJ Khaled, Fat Joe, Flavor Flav, French Montana, Halle Bailey, Lil Nas X, Miranda Lambert, Naomi Scott, Paris Hilton, Suki Suki Waterhouse, Talia, and Tinashe. Who is nominated at the 2025 VMAs, you ask? Of the nominees, Lady Gaga is the most recognized artist this year with 12 nods, followed by her Die with a Smile collaborator Bruno Mars with 11 nods. Mother Monster could also break or tie several records, including becoming the first artist to win Song of the Year twice, or becoming the second artist to win Artist of the Year on multiple occasions after Taylor Swift. If Gaga sweeps, she would also tie with Swift and Beyonce as the most awarded artists in the history of the VMAs with 30 total wins. Other other front runners include Kendrick Lamar, who is up for 10 Moon Person Awards, Sabrina Carpenter and Rose, however you pronounce this, with 9 and 8 nominations. Hang on a second. Respectively, Ariana Grande and The Weeknd with 7 nominations each, Billie Eilish and Tate McRae with 6 each, Charlie XCX with 5, and Bad Bunny, Doechii, and Miley Cyrus with 4 each. First time nominees this year include Alex Warren, Gigi Perez, Cat's Eye, Lainey Wilson, Leon Thomas, Lola Young, the Marias, and a posthumous nod for the late great Mac Miller, as well as first solo nominations for Jimin of BTS and Rose, Jenny and Jai So of Blackpink. Um, who will receive the Video Vanguard Award at the 2025 MTV VMAs, you ask? Mariah Carey will receive the 2025 Video Vanguard Award at this year's VMAs. Mother Lamb's highly anticipated career-spanning performance will be her first time gracing the VMAs stage in 20 years since her rendition of the Emancipation of Mimi singles We Belong Together and Shake It Off with guests Jadakiss and Jermaine Dupri in 2005. Despite her legacy of iconic music videos for songs like Honey, Always Be My Baby, and Obsessed, the Video Vanguard Award will be Carrie's first ever VMA award over her 35-year career. The Queen of Christmas will also become the eighth female recipient of the Video Vanguard Award in a row, following Rihanna, Pink, Jennifer Lopez, Missy Elliott, Nicki Minaj, Shakira, and Katy Perry. How can you vote for the 2025 VMAs? Voting for the gender neutral award show remains open at vote.mtv.com. Go to the website www.vote.mtv.com until Friday, September 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, with fans able to vote up to 10 times a day in each category. In addition to the main slate, fans can also cast their vote for two social categories: Best Group and Song of the Summer, via MTV's Instagram stories. Voting for the social categories will remain open through Sunday, September 7th. So what are you waiting for? Go vote right now. All right? There you go. There you go. Let's see. Let's see. What else can we talk about here? What else can we talk about? All right, let's talk about some video game news. There's been like a rumor of was it Sonic Central 2025 rumors and leaks. Um excuse me. Rumors and leaks. Okay, we got some video game news to get to right here. I want to actually get to this. I want to get to this story right here. In this segment right here, right now in the video game entertainment newsroom. All right. So this is where I touch on gaming stories and of course some game releases that's going to be coming out. I actually went over this like a couple of times. So yeah. All right, let's get to it right here. Video game entertainment newsroom. Here we go. Come on. You gotta be kidding me. Hold on 1 second, folks. I want to refresh this actually. Okay, let's get to Sonic Central and some potential leaks. Let's get to this shit. So, um, so this is from Game Rant. Since 2021, the Sonic Central presentation has become an annual occurrence. The event is full of reveals, announcements, and trailers for Sonic the Hedgehog games, merchandise, and collaborations. With Sonic Central typically happening during the summer, fans of the series can expect 2025's presentation to be imminent. Since last year's showing, there has been an abundance of leaks and rumors of Sonic the Hedgehog titles that fans may be able to expect announcements for. It seems like the remainder of 2025 will be exciting for Sonic the Hedgehog fans, and the Sonic Central event could give an insight into plans for the following year. Obviously, one of the most recent leaks relates to Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I'm gonna do a separate episode about that game too. Um, Before fans have even been given a release date, fans have been able to find out some of the characters who will be appearing as DLC. The Crossworlds part of the title seems to go beyond characters from the Sonic the Hedgehog series, bringing in guest characters from other third-party properties. In particular, multiple Nickelodeon characters will be playable in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, representing the SpongeBob SquarePants, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Avatar: The Last Airbender series. It seems as though each of these characters will have DLC available, including characters, vehicles, and courses. As Nickelodeon is owned by Paramount, this could also mean that fans can expect more Sonic representation. More specifically, characters from the Sonic the Hedgehog movie are also likely to make an appearance since these films were distributed by Paramount Pictures. While their inclusion in Sonic Racing Crossworlds would not be the video game adaptation these movies may deserve, making them playable would be a great way to incorporate them into the mainline series. This is especially true for characters like Agent Stone and Longclaw, who do not have video game counterparts. As well as Nickelodeon characters, the leak also revealed that Minecraft's Alex and a Minecraft will also be in Sonic Racing Crossworlds. With Steve joining her. This was confirmed at Summit Game Fest, adding validity to the other leaked names. These might not be the only gaming icons appearing alongside the Sonic the Hedgehog cast, either following an Among Us collaboration with the Yakuza series. It was alluded to that Among Us may cross over with Sonic Racing Crossroads in some capacity. While nothing is confirmed yet, players may find out more during the Sonic Central presentation. Not even sure when that is actually. So, so another title that is likely to be fully revealed at Sonic Central is Sonic Blitz, a fast-paced mobile card game. The title is yet to see an international release. With it currently being limited to the Philippines, it's very likely that fans will hear about a worldwide release date, a world a worldwide release date during the upcoming Sonic Central. Sorry for the tongue twister, folks. Just bear with me here. Despite its limited release, the community has become very interested in the title because of its deep cut callbacks to characters from Sonic's past, including Sonic Rush Adventures, Norman and Tails Adventures, Battle, um, Cuckoo. Um, Dedicated fans of the series will want to watch out for this Sega and Rovio mobile game if it is fully revealed as 2025 Sonic Central. Some of Sonic Blitz's leaked contents may also give players an insight into what can be expected from the series moving forward, as well as reintroducing some of the series' more obscure characters. Some have been given unexpected redesigns. One of these is Mighty the Armadillo, who was a mostly forgotten Sonic character until the release of Sonic Mania Plus. Fans have long thought that he would be restricted to the classic style of games, but his performance in Sonic Blitz matches the designs of the modern era characters. This could be hinting at him being introduced in the modern style of games in the future, which fans may also see as Sonic Central. There is another Sonic Mobile title that some players still don't have access to, and that is Sonic Rumble. Despite its availability in some regions, the worldwide release of Sonic Rumble has been delayed once again, leaving many players still waiting to join in on the fun. Fans can only hope that Sonic Central will provide them with a final release date, one that will not be postponed once again. Even though the future of the game's international release is still unknown, fans can rest assured that they will not be missing out on any content. Acknowledging that not all players have access to the game yet, Sega has confirmed that Sonic Rumble's limited time cosmetics will return, giving everyone the chance to acquire this content. This will possibly be reconfirmed at 2025's Sonic Central, as well as possibly compensating players for the delays. Yeah, and a 35th anniversary title since 2026 marks the 35th anniversary of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Fans will likely be able to expect an announcement of a new mainline game at Sonic Central this year. It's very rare. It's very rare for these anniversaries to go uncelebrated. So the Sonic Central presentation may show what Sega has planned for Sonic's 35th. The direction, the next mainline Sonic title will go is not certain, but the recent installments may give an insight as to what it could be. Sonic Frontiers utilize an open zone style, splitting the game into an open world environment full of typical Sonic obstacles and separate boost stages that fans have become accustomed to since Sonic Unleashed. The shadow portion of Gen- Sonic X Shadow Generations tighten this formula with a focused open zone and more robust stages. If a new game is revealed at Sonic Central, fans could expect it to follow this design. The return of some Sonic the Hedgehog titles of the past may also be announced during 2025 Sonic Central event. One of these, which has been highly anticipated for some time, is a Sonic Heroes remake or sequel. With the game not being officially available on modern platforms, a port or remaster of the game would be welcomed by the community, giving long-time fans some much-needed nostalgia while introducing new fans to the beloved title. The Sonic series has aimed to be more attentive to its lore in recent years, so a Sonic Heroes remake could help to round out recent storylines. Those who have only recently been introduced to the games may be interested in the Metal Overlord boss of Sonic X Shadow Generations, and with a remake of Sonic Heroes, these players could explore the this character's origins. Sonic Unleashed, in a second, Sonic Unleashed is another game that players have been waiting to return. Xbox Series X and S owners are able to play the Xbox 360 original upscaled for modern hardware, but players on other systems are still lacking a method to replay this experience. Fans might have beaten Sega to the punch, providing PC players with one of the best ways to play the title in the form of a recompilation. But an official port could still have value. Wow. Um yeah, let me see. So let me see. Yeah. So okay, it seems as though the game has been given a lot of representation recently with this upcoming Sonic Racing Crossworlds featuring courses based on Sonic Unleashed. The attention given to the game recently could hint at more news to come for Sonic Unleashed, so fans should be prepared for a possible reveal during Sonic Central. Man, hold on a second, man. Yeah, hang on a second here. Let me just I don't wait. They haven't given a specific date on when Sonic Central's gonna be. I don't see any dates. I don't see any dates. I may have to look this up actually. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this up actually. All right. Of course. Um, I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to talk about Sonic 4 news. Um, but they haven't really revealed any information or anything like that as far as like trailers and stuff. So I'm probably gonna save that for another time actually. Um all right, so the future of the DC collaboration. One of the most surprising reveals for Sonic fans last year was the crossover with DC. What began as as an animation on Batman Day showing Shadow the Hedgehog donning the cowl has evolved into a comic book crossover, inserting Sonic characters into the roles of the Justice League's heroes. Last year's Sonic Central revealed that the crossover will be continuing throughout 2025 and into 2026. It's likely then that the upcoming Sonic Central will give more details about the Sonic and DC Comics crossover. Specifics of what is planned are currently unknown, but there is the possibility that fans could see the collaboration develop into a game that ties in with the comics, or possibly an animated movie in a similar style to the Batman Day Shadow short. Sonic Central has been a source of excitement for much of the Sonic community, and it's likely that um, 2025's presentation will continue to deliver. All the leaks, rumors, and the hints in recent months may have given fans an idea of what to expect to the future, but they will have to wait for Sonic Central to see which of these Sega confirms. Hmm. There hasn't been any confirmation of when the Sonic Central event is going to happen. Um, I may have to look this up at as a matter of fact. Let me look this up so I can get an idea for you folks at home that's listening. Let me see. Let me see. Because it's very interesting that they don't have a date for it. So that's why I'm gonna actually try to look for it right now, actually, as I'm recording this episode right here. So that way you won't have to worry about oh shit. Oh man, wait a minute. Hold on a minute here. All right, Sonic. Sonic Central 2025 date. Let's see what the date is actually. Yeah, there hasn't been any official date for Sonic Central in 2025, so that's not gonna that's not really gonna happen anytime soon. So it's kind of difficult to actually do that. So we have to wait and see. All right. Let me see what the hell did I do here? Yeah. Um wow, man. Wow. This is crazy. Um all right. Yeah, there's no specific date for it, so I'm gonna keep going on this right here. I'm gonna keep going on this actually. So let me just um I'm gonna keep going on this actually. So there's some more video game news that I want to cover. So let me just damn son. I wanna yeah. This is weird. Hold on a second. Oh man. All right, I'll get back to the Sega sound effects. I'm not so sure what's going on here, but let me let me continue where I left off here. So I'll actually, you know, wait a minute here. Um, oh, it's right here. It's right here. I forgot that I had it in here, though, man. I forgot I had it in here. Hoocha! I forgot I had it in here. I thought I lost that for a second. Yeah, you know what though, man? Shouts to the folks from Sega, man. You know what I mean? Even though they don't have a specific date for Sonic Central, I want them to take their time, all right? Shout outs to the people in there you go. Shouts to Sega, man. And I would and people and gamers and Sonic fans would really appreciate you taking your time to set everything up. No rush in terms of the date. Just take your time. No rush. All right. All right, let's get on to some other video game news here, man. I want to actually make sure that I cover the bases. Um, Let me make sure I cover the bases here. Hold on a second. All right, so On to some other video game news that I want to talk about here. Actually, I've been meaning to. Um, okay, so Microsoft laid off 9,000 people. That's fucking insane, right there, man. That's fucking insane, right there, man. Microsoft confirmed that it's laying off as many as 9,100 employees, or about 4% of its workforce, in yet another round of cuts this year, reports the Seattle Times. Employees in Microsoft's Xbox division, known as Microsoft Gaming, are being hit hard by these layoffs, although exact numbers and divisions are not known yet. I can relate. I can relate to the people out there that's actually been laid off. Actually, man, I feel your fucking pain. All right. Xbox leader Phil Spencer said in a message to the team to position gaming for enduring success and allow us to focus on strategic growth areas. We will end or decrease work in certain areas of the business and follow Microsoft's lead in removing layers of management to increase agility and effectiveness. Bloomberg reports that the now Microsoft owned King division that makes Candy Crush is cutting about 10% of employees, or 200 people, while other units like ZeniMax have also confirmed they are cutting jobs. Damn. Damn, son. I feel you, man. I feel your pain. I feel your pain, man. That shit sucks. I feel your pain, man. That shit really fucking sucks, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's awful, man. Okay, let's continue here. Um, let's continue here. So, all right. So let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Where were we? Yeah. So, Microsoft is also laying off more than 70 people at its Forza Motorsport studio, Turn 10, as well as canceling its Perfect Dark and Everwild games. The studio behind Perfect Dark, the initiative is also closing down as part of these layoffs. Oh boy. Um, these major layoffs come less than 2 months after Microsoft announced it was cutting more than 6,000 employees, followed by an additional 305 reductions in early June. Microsoft employees have faced a series of layoffs over the past year, including a round of performance based cuts that have seriously hit morale, according to multiple Microsoft employees I've spoken to. Microsoft laid off 1,900,000 people, 1,900 Activision, Blizzard, and Xbox employees in January 2024, followed by several game studio closures and job losses in May, and 1,000 job losses from its HoloLens and Azure cloud teams in June. Microsoft also laid off 650 more Xbox employees in September as part of a restructuring related to the company's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Damn. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. I really feel for them, man. I really feel for those workers, man, and how hard it is to find another permanent job. Actually, you know what I'm saying? It's very hard, actually. So, um, and in other video game news, let's get into Xbox partnering with LG. Yeah, yep, that's right. Your new LG Smart TV is now an Xbox. Microsoft announced at CES 2025 a partnership with LG Electronics to bring the Xbox app to select LG Smart TVs as part of its push allowing players to play Xbox on devices not called a Series X or S, according to Hip Hop Wired gaming section. Soon, gamers will be able to enjoy titles like Call of Duty Black Ops 6, upcoming releases like Avowed, which already launched in February of this year, and hundreds of other via Game Pass Ultimate on the television's game portal. Let's see. All right. Games portals and stuff, man. Hold on. We are thrilled to announce the partnership with Xbox. Which aims to enrich the gaming experience on LG smart TVs with a broader selection of popular games, said Chris Joe, Senior Vice President of Platform Business at LG Media Entertainment Solution Company. The hell's going on with this shit, man? Why you keep Yeah, okay. The, the hell's going Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Where was I, man? Damn. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. Our partnership with LG will help players. Hold on a minute. Where was I? No, we are thrilled to announce the partnership with Xbox, which aims to enrich the gaming experience on LG smart TVs with a broader selection of popular games, said Chris Joe, Senior Vice President of Platform Business at LG Media Entertainment Solution Company. The gaming portal will provide users with a seamless, convenient, and exciting way to enhance the gaming experience on LG smart TVs. Our partnership with LG will help players easily discover and play games through the new gaming portal on LG Smart TV, said Lori Wright, Corporate Vice President of Xbox. We're fortunate to have a great partner in LG who will bring Xbox cloud gaming to more players, letting new and longtime Xboxers find their favorite games and play with their friends across screens. Xbox is dead serious about its new vision. The latest move comes as Microsoft launches its new This Is an Xbox campaign. The campaign aims to sell gamers on the idea that their smartphones, gaming laptops, handheld gaming systems, and smart TVs are all Xbox consoles, excuse me. Team Green has straightforwardly changed its company approach, ditching exclusivity by bringing games like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Hi-Fi Rush, and other future Xbox exclusives to the PS5 and Nintendo Switch. Depending on who you ask, the decision is either good or a slap in the face. But with the PS5 currently torching the Series X in sales, Microsoft had no choice. All right, let's see. What else? What else can we talk about here? What else can we talk about here? Um, yes, obviously, we gotta talk. Obviously, obviously, we need to talk about Metal Gear. Let's talk about Metal Gear for a sec. And this is from Video Games Chronicle. All right, so Digital Foundry Thomas Morgan put the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, PS5, and PS5 Pro versions of the game through their paces and found that in the game's performance mode, the Series X generally puts in a smoother performance. The Series X, PS5, and PS5 Pro versions have options for a quality mode running at 30 frames per second, excuse me, and a performance mode which aims for 60 FPS. According to Morgan, none of these versions managed to consistently hit 60 FPS in performance mode for the entirety of the game. But when the frame rate does dip, generally tends to be less severe on Xbox Series X. Morgan points out that the dynamics resolution in performance mode on Series X hits a high point of 1152p, while on PS5 the highest it can hit is 1080p. Likewise, in quality mode, the lowest possible rendering resolution on Series X is 1152p compared to 1080p on PS5, suggesting both modes can look fractionally sharper on Microsoft's console. On to frame rate, Morgan compares a swamp section and a later bridge section across the Series X, PS5, and PS5 Pro versions, and notes that the bottom line is that Series X enjoys a performance lead over both PS5 machines in these areas. The reporter puts this down to area by area tweaks in ambient shading, the global illumination on Series X, as well as its 12 teraflop power profile being an existing advantage over base PS5's 10 teraflops. Drops into the 40-50 FPS range are possible in that opening string of areas, but overall Series X does ultimately end up giving VRR displays a higher baseline frame rate to work from by a margin of 5 to 6 FPS at times. He adds, plus combined with the wider 40-60 hertz VRR range possible on Xbox systems, it positions Xbox. It positions Series X as the smoothest way to play on these three consoles. Morgan does go on to note certain areas where PS5 runs smoother, but says Series X generally runs smoother in average, adding Series X relative performance is higher than, but the reality is it still has issues. The Xbox Series version, on the other hand, doesn't quite doesn't fare quite as well. Microsoft's less powerful console doesn't give players a choice between performance or quality mode, instead giving a single 30 FPS mode. Um, Morgan says players are effectively lumbered with uneven frame pacing no matter what on Series S, and it drops below 30 FPS more frequently than the quality mode does on Series X. The Series S version's dynamic resolution goes from 540p to 1080p, and it's noted that Delta's upscaler doesn't always have sufficient pixel data to work with, and too often the image ends up being noisy and pixelated in motion on Series S. Concluding, the reporter says all versions of the game suffer from frame rate issues, which mean that quality and performance mode both fail to continually hit 30 FPS and 60 FPS respectively. But that the saving grace for Series X is that it does at least offer a frame rate lead over Sony's machines in most matching runs through the jungle, bearing a few exceptions. Series X, Series S, on the other hand, is simply hard to recommend. He adds, VGC's Metal Gear Delta Snake Eater reviews calls it a solid but safe remake, saying it's a steady hand at the tiller of a franchise that has felt in mortal danger for some time. It's a way to play the PS2 classic on modern hardware with a fresh coat of paint and contemporary controls we wrote, while those looking for a more expansive remake may be left wanting, translating much of MGS 5's excellent gameplay to the PS2 classic is more than enough for us. All right. Okay, let's get to um let's get to some of your let's get to some of your fun activities to do for the week. Let me start off with, all right, so let's start off with this actually. So all right, so our next segment we'll talk about some fun activities to do for the week and weekend, and this is for um the week and weekend actually. So remains to be seen. Let's do this.
Remains to be seen, kid. Get it? Remains to be seen.
Yes, that's right. I got a lineup of fun activities for you folks at home that is probably tuning in from, whether you are from Los Angeles, whether you are from international places, and of course the five spots of the five boroughs and Long Island. So I got y'all with some fun activities to do and stuff. So first and foremost, let me let me mention this actually. So let me go to first September 7th. Blood Moon Lighting the Skies of NYC is happening. You got the Ferragosto Festival happening on the same day, November 7th of this year, and you have Sushi Con happening September 6th through September 7th. That's in New York. And September 8th, you have Taste of Times Square food event. Um, September 11th, you have Italian Fest of the Feast of San Gennaro. September 11th through September 21st. And of course, like I said before, don't forget to get your tickets to New York Fashion Week, which is happening from 9/11 through September 11th through September 16th. Don't forget to go to let me pull up the website real quick actually before I forget. Yeah, this is the website you can go get your tickets. That's runway7fashion.com. www.runway7fashion.com is where you can get your tickets. Hurry up before they get sold out. And also do the same with Universal Circus. You can go to the website as well because they're going to be in Queens from September 5th through September 28th by Baisley and Merritt Boulevard. And remember, parking is very limited, so get there as early as possible so you can find parking. All right. And it's celebrating its 31st anniversary. So, you know what I mean? And for those of you who may not know, Universal Circus came out in 1997 as I looked up online. Anyway, let me keep going here, man, with some more events to talk about here. So you got Starry Night at the New York Botanical Garden. That's happening on September 13th. Also on September 13th through the 14th, you have the Long Island Garlic Festival. You have Latin Food Fest also happening on the 13th, September 13th through September 14th. If you're looking for ways to relieve stress and stuff, you got yoga classes that's happening at Bryant Park now through September 17th. Diner and Vado Blanc all white dinner party is happening September 19th. You got the New York Transit Bus Festival that's also happening on September 21st. You got the Momo Crawl September 21st. You got the Global Citizens Festival that's happening September 27th. September 27th, that's happening. And of course, All Things Go Festival, September 26th through September 28th. That's the event that has Dolce and a bunch of other music artists that's going to be there as well. Let me find that store. Let me find this because I actually saw this shit. So I want to actually look for this right now, actually. So let me look for this. All right, let's look for it right now. So you said and yes, let me look for it. Let me look for it because I actually saw this. Just give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I could find it. As I'm looking through Timeout's website, of course, there's Immigrant Jam Lucy Poll, which is happening tomorrow, September 5th. We have a whole bunch of activities I'm not going to be able to get to. You have the let me see if I could find that event. Let me see if I can find that event though. Let me see if I can find it. I remember seeing it actually. Where is it? Where is it, man? Where is it, man? Hold on a second here. Prospect Park Yoga is happening. Of course, there's classes that's going to be in Prospect Park through October. Um, y'all can check that out as well. You can register in advance. Don't forget to buy your ticket. Um, I'm not gonna really get to everything, so let me. Why can't I find it? Yeah, I remember seeing it actually. I'm just trying to look for it right now so I can actually um I could actually look for this right now actually. So um if I could find it, if I don't find it then wait. Now that I'm looking for it right now though, I don't know. Anyway, of course, while I'm looking at it, there's also Queens Night Market, which costs between $5 to $6 actually, and the festival runs on Saturday nights through the spring and summer at the New York Hall Signs in Flushing Meadows, Corona Park. The Foodie Festival runs on Saturday nights through the summer at the New York Hall Signs in Flushing Meadows, Corona Park. Of course, there will also be other items sale besides food, including vintage apparel, handmade jewelry, ceramic products, um, art pieces, crochet toys, stationery, and much more. So there you go. I'm trying to look for that damn event that has the oh my goodness. I can't seem to find it at the moment. I have to hang on a second, folks. Hang on one second. Um, hold on one second. One second. All Things Go Festival. Okay. All Things Go Festival. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's really happening. I remember seeing this on let me see, Time Out. I remember seeing this on Time Out though. I forget. Damn man. Shit. Fall happenings. Damn. Maybe. Let me see this. That'd be interesting to see. Narrow. Yes, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. The All Things Go Music Festival. Okay, so since its humble beginnings at DC's Union Market, All Things Go Music Festival has become one of the most anticipated events of late New York City summers, with lineups that predominantly feature queer artists. The event stands sturdy in its values. This year, the festival will return to Forest Hills Stadium and will take place from September 26th through September 28th. You see artists like Lucy Dacus, Dijo, Dochi, Remy Wolf, Claro, and Marias, among many others. Tickets start at $89 $89 for general admission. So don't miss out on it right there. All right, so don't miss out on it. Actually, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So where was yes? There's a baseball event. I want to actually mention that too before I get up out of here. Before I get up out of here, I want to mention a baseball event that's happening. For you baseball fans and Mets fans out there, man, I want to mention this actually. I want to mention this. There is an alumni classic event that's happening, baseball wise. So on Saturday, September 13th, over 40 Mets players and managers will return to Citi Field for the Alumni Classic. The rosters will be comprised of amazing legends from the last decade of Shea Stadium and the first decade from Citi Field. The 3 inning game will take place prior to the 4:10 p.m. contest against the Texas Rangers. Be sure to be in your seat by 2 p.m. Get your tickets now to be a part of this special day and relive history. All right, so managers that's going to be there are Willie Randolph, Bobby Valentine, Terry Collins, Jerry Manuel. You got former pitchers John Franco, Mike Hampton, Al Leiter, John Maine, Rick Reed, Turk Wendell. You got Bartolo Colon, R.A. Dickey, Dylan G, Matt Harvey, aka Dark Knight, John Neese, Mike Pelfrey, and of course Johan Santana. Former catchers Paul LaDuca, Mike Piazza, Kevin Plawecki, and Josh Tolley. Former infielders are Edgardo Alfonso, Carlos Delgado, Asdrubal Cabrera, Ike Davis, Joe McEwing, Ray Ordonez, Kelly Johnson, Josh Satin, alongside with Ruben Tejada, Jose Reyes, and Todd Zeal. Outfielders Benny Agbayani, Carlos Beltran, Andy Chavez, Jay Payton, Mike Baxter, Curtis Granderson, Juan Lagares, and Kurt Neuenhuis are going to be there as well. Alumni Classic VIP package. Game ticket is not included. Brunch and batting practice package, exclusive pregame meet and greet, brunch with Met alumni in the K corner. Alumni availability is subject to change. VIP access to the red carpet for alumni arrivals, on field access behind home plate for alumni batting practice. By brunch and BP. Brunch package includes exclusive pregame meet and greet brunch with Met alumni in the K corner. Alumni availability is subject to change. A La Carte batting practice passes, on field access behind home plate for alumni batting practice. So yeah, there you go right there. You can go to www.mlb.com/Mets/ticket specials/alumni classic. All right. Okay. So whatever topic I don't get a chance to get to, I'll probably talk about it in the following episode. All right. I'll probably save that particular topic for another time. I have to run right now actually to get up out of here. So I have to really, you know, wrap this up right here. So let me see. Let me get to all right. All right, we'll wrap up right here with this last segment, stream choices on the go. All right, folks, you know the routine. Make sure you follow Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast on Facebook, Blue Sky Social, alongside with Threads and Instagram. The same goes with my other shows that I do, which are my sports platform show, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, alongside with my entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, which I will be recording maybe one or two separate episodes tomorrow. All right. And of course I had to push the other episode of my sports podcast to another day, so I could get the other two out the way for tomorrow. So you can also follow your host with the most, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York, on Threads. It's the same username as Instagram, so you can follow me on both social media platforms. All right. Now, if you go to the link in bio, you're gonna see a list of podcasts. You're gonna see a list of podcast link feeds of streaming platforms. All right. As you click on it, you're gonna see a list of streaming platforms. They're mixed up, but I'm gonna read the rest of the streaming platforms to you folks out there that's listening. Of course, starting with Odyssey, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review of your feedback on how you feel about the topics in today's episode, including the transit talks, the movie talks, as far as like the potential rumored actors to play James Bond, to take over to replace Daniel Craig, and along with the other video game topics, of course, and other topics included. So there you go. Don't forget to leave a 5-star rating, and of course, your response to, let me know how you feel about the topics in today's episode. All right. All right. So the comedy show podcast is on Castbox FM. These are listen notes, Moon FM podcast, Overall FM podcast, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Podorama podcast, Index podcast, Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic, Snipped, and of course, make sure you add the podcast to your Spotify playlist. Make sure you stream and listen to the episodes, and also press the notification bell so you'll be notified on when each episode will be released. You can also listen on Spotify for creators. You can also comment on there, and you can also listen on TuneIn Radio alongside with Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to your favorite music artists, including rappers, R&B singers, and other music genres, and of course, hip hop artists, radio stations, and of course, you can listen to the podcast episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is actually subscribe and follow the comedy show Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast on iHeartRadio, alongside with streaming platforms that I just mentioned. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel page of my primary channel, G Money Stacks 555, for more live video podcast episode, live stream recordings. Of course, leave a like and a comment. Tell me what you think about the topics in today's episode, whether it's the video game topics, whether it's places, fun activities to do for the week, whether it's like, whether it's transit news, the actors rumored to play James Bond, of course, the movie box office and the other topics and stuff. So, all right. And of course, very important that you spread the word. Word of mouth is important. Spread the word in terms of the podcast. Be sure to share the Linktree link of the podcast link feeds to your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you're cool with from work. And of course, like I said, add the podcast to your Spotify playlist so you don't miss out on any episodes whatsoever. And of course, be sure to also enable alerts so you can be notified on when I'll be on the air live, and of course, when I'll be able to record new episodes whatsoever. Of course, new episodes are going to be dropping Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I wasn't able to drop 418 on yesterday because I was very tired from recording episode 418. I couldn't drop it in time, so I will gladly drop 418 and this episode tomorrow, which is Friday. So you'll get a double dose of back-to-back episodes. So I got y'all with that. And yes, new episodes on every streaming platform, including YouTube, whenever you listen, stream, and watch your podcast. All right. So there you go, right there, folks. So that's gonna do it for me. Man. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later. And thank you to every single one of you for listening, streaming, and watching me and express myself on some various topics. And remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. And also, don't let anybody stop you from starting your own podcast. If you plan on doing it, don't worry about what the haters think, okay? Don't worry about that. And also, if you plan on doing it, make sure you be on your P's and Q's on a consistency basis. And of course, commitment is very important. And also don't let anybody discourage you or tell you not to call it a podcast if you're on YouTube. First of all, a podcast is also on YouTube as well. It's not just audio recordings. And also, find your niche. There's no right or wrong time to starting a podcast, and there's no wrong time or right time to actually starting a podcast as well. So, of course, be yourself behind the microphone as you're recording your podcast episodes, creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. You could have listened to any other podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this comedy podcast platform. And I appreciate every single one of y'all from international places, alongside with USA, Canada, Long Island, and the five boroughs of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. And I didn't forget Jersey. Jersey is one of them. Connecticut is one of them too. So shout outs to y'all out there as well. So I'm gonna be out of here, man. I'll see y'all next time in the next episode. And whatever topic I ain't get a chance to cover as far as like the movies being filmed in New York, I will cover that in the following episode, because I don't think I have the time to actually cover that. So I wanted to actually cover some stuff for the weekend to do for fun. So if you missed out on any of the fun activities that I just mentioned, you can listen to this episode right here. This episode, alongside with 418, will be dropped tomorrow, Friday, TGIF. All right. So peace and one love. Enjoy your weekend. Be careful. Be safe out there. And I know y'all can't wait for summertime to be over and all that other stuff. And it hasn't been humid whatsoever. It's been cool lately, but it's still in the 80s. All right. So, of course, be prepared. Make sure you have your warm clothes ready on deck so you don't get sick or anything like that. All right. All right. Peace out. One love. Appreciate y'all, man. And enjoy your weekend. I hope you enjoy your first day of school and everything else. And I hope y'all I hope to see y'all next time. Peace. Good night, everybody. And don't forget to get your tickets to the events that I just mentioned. The baseball event that I just mentioned. And of course, don't forget that the New York Mets are playing tomorrow. David Peterson's going to be one of the pitchers, and of course, Jonah Tong is going to be there. And I will talk about the whole thing with Brendan Sprout on my sports podcast platform. So stay tuned for that as well. All right, man. Peace and one love. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Be careful. Be safe out there. Good night, everybody.